Welcome to my beginner's quick start guide to Sudden Strike 4 on the PlayStation 4. A really good real-time strategy game that I'd recommend any fan of war films and war games could enjoy. So, start off with, always do the tutorials. It's pretty short. And I would say as well is once you've played a couple of the missions as well, come back to the tutorial because there's an awful lot going on in Sudden Strike, and you'll think, oh, how do I do this? And you'll have forgotten the tutorial. So do that. So do it once, then do it again, and then work your way through the campaign. Starting off, I would suggest with the German campaign. The way that the game works is it introduces more difficult enemies and more things for you to deal with as you move on. So for example, with the German campaign, in the Battle of Sedan, the first one, you're dealing with tanks and infantry, and then as it goes on you start dealing with aircraft, and you start dealing with rocket batteries and different mechanics in the game. So I found, start off with the German campaign, and it starts off fairly simple. Now, let's choose, which one shall I show you? Let's go into Operation Barbarossa. Now, it gives you a little bit of a background, and then you'll get the doctrines, which are a series of perks, if you like, that you get for your tanks, your army, your infantry, or your supply things. So, you, for example, with the Germans, you could go with Blasco outfits, where your infantry get better, more hand grenades, they're more accurate, etc. They can ride on tanks. Guderian, where basically your armor has the units survive critical hits. They're better when they're looking out. And then you've got Fidel van Bock, which is all about the supply chain, and you get better things for him. Now, also, you'll see in the top right-hand corner, you see those stars. It says star 0. Let me get rid of these. It's gone up to 7 now. As you complete missions with a particular doctrine, you get stars to spend on souping up, if you like, that particular doctrine, and you can spend them on whatever you like. So for example, with Guderian, because I've got 7 stars, what I could now is I could now choose that perk, which means that my tanks have an extra +5 armor, which is pretty good. And then I could also have that one at the start of the mission. The crew of the strongest armor unit is promoted to the elite status. Yes, please. I've got 1 left. Vehicle crews deploy with repair kits, enable them to fix critical damage to their vehicles without repair truck, which I think I will have as well.
Conduct an aerial recon to find Soviet military assets. Break through the enemy front line at its weakest point. Attack the area behind enemy lines and neutralize all military assets. Mop up the Soviet defense line.
Right, let's get started. So, the mission briefing gives you an idea of what you've got to do to complete the mission and sort of to win that level, if you like. But other things may well happen within the level that you could be given other missions to do as you're going along. It tends to get expanded, and there might be some secret things that happen as well. And so what I'm going to show you in this guide is kind of how I set up my units and start to go about sort of moving around the battlefield and engaging other units and resupplying and repairing my units. I'm not going to go through how to win this particular level. What I will say is that Sudden Strike 4, and I guess RTS games in general, reward a slow and considered play style.
Apparently the Red Army is under strict orders not to fire on our airplanes. Send out recon planes and discover everything of military importance in the area.
So in this particular level, they've added the idea of using air power as well. So here's the battlefield. As you can see, it's fairly dark. It's dark because we don't know what's going on, although we can see all the sort of topographical and geographical elements of the battlefield. Nice little tip there, you know, and things like this trench line. We can't see any soldiers in it. We can't see any anti-tank guns. We can't see any tanks. We can't see any Katyusha rocket batteries. All those nasty things could spoil our day. Now, as our vehicles and our men come onto the battlefield, it will light up and we'll be able to see enemy things. But the whole point of Sudden Strike 4, in terms of being successful often is about whether you can see the enemy before he can see you. So can you start firing on the enemy before they see you? So anyway, we've got to do some aerial recon with this one. Now, if you press and hold down the left trigger, you'll bring up the mini-map, and then you can move around much faster to find the areas you're meant to be working on. And to bring in aerial stuff, basically make sure you're not selecting any units, press and hold right trigger, press up, and then press X, and then I can call in all these recons. So I've called in on my recon aircraft, and they're starting to find things. So as you can see, it's all lit up now, so I can see what's going on, and my recon aircraft are telling me what's going on in a particular area. I haven't found a way of marking the map so that you can say, remember where these things are. But the idea, say, with this particular mission is to remember, okay, so we've got field guns here, so we really want to be attacking these guys from behind.
Looks like a lot of repair trucks are stationed in this area, Herr Commandant.
On the final one, inside of the Storch.
Concentration of tanks here.
So we've got some nasty tanks there.
Well done. We are going to employ blitzkrieg tactics here, as that worked perfectly in a similar offensive in France. Panzers are going to break through with support from Stukas. Then the infantry follows and mops up the enemy line, attacking them from behind whenever it is possible.
So we can see on our mini-map, we've got to break through here. But we can already know that there's some trenches, so there's going to be lots of nasties here to stop us doing it. Now we do have some air power, so we have got access to one more reconnaissance aeroplane we could use as well to find out what's going on. And look, we've got our battle group has turned up here. Now, remember, although that Strike 4 is a real-time strategy game, so as we're doing things are going to happen straight away. It's not turn-based. Always remember that you can always hit the touchpad in the middle of your controller to pause the game, and you can still have a look round to kind of gather your wits and decide what to do next. You can press the option button as well, and that will pause the game. Also, when you press the option button, you can save as well. So when you've done a particular section that was particularly tricky, you thought, oh, I did well there, save it. Because some of these levels go on for a long time. It could be an hour if you're playing very slowly and deliberately. So we want to be careful that way. Now, if you look in the top left-hand corner, you'll see the number 1 and number 2. And if we use the D-pad, left and right, we can select our support units, which are all there, and we can select our armoured units. And so when you've got a particular group selected, if you move your cursor to the middle and then press the circle button and then press your left joystick up or wherever you want to go, you can ask them to move, and depending on how far you move the joystick, they'll choose a different formation. You can get them to point in different directions, and generally just ask them to move. So I'll tell you what, I want them to do that. So there they all go. Da, 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 da. Changing. So I'm not always sure about the AI. They seem to get a bit confused sometimes. They're good at bumping into each other. As you can see, they're all moving around. Now you can also select individual units. So if I hold my cursor over a unit and press X, I've just selected that guy, and I can say, actually, I want you to come over here, and I want you to face that way. So there he goes, and he's going to move over there. However, in this game, the easiest way to be effective is to make sure you select whole groups of tanks, or supply units or infantry to work together. So we've got my tanks here. Now let's have a look at a tank. In fact, let's use this guy in particular. So if we hold the cursor over a tank, we can see that on the tank there's a little picture, and then there's 5 guys in it. You can see by the steering wheels, and then if you look at the heart, that's the armour or the health of the tank. Now in this game you don't build any bases. You can't spawn new units. Actually, you can spawn paratroopers, you can get them to come in. What will happen is throughout a level, throughout a mission, occasionally you might be given more units. In the particular one, we get some more units when we progress a little bit of a way. But there's no way of repairing the health of a particular vehicle as well. I kind of guess it would be in a battle. You know, if you're in a tank and you're taking shell fire and machine gun fire and it's damaging your armor, in the middle of a battle, you're not going to be able to like weld different plates on or replace parts of the tank. It's not practical. However, what you can do is if the armor receives critical, or the vehicle receives a critical hit, and that will be damage to the engine, the tracks, or the gun, you can then call in a repair truck, one of these guys down here, and they will repair. Or in my case, with this particular doctrine I'm using, you remember that one of the perks that I chose was the tanks have a repair kit that they can use to fix themselves if they receive critical damage. So throughout a battle, a tank's health will go down, go down, and go down, and go down as it takes hit, and you can't replace that. Eventually, the tank will be destroyed. Underneath that, you'll see there's the petrol, 180 out of 200. We've got armor-piercing shells and high-explosive shells, and then we've got machine gun bullets. If we go down here and look at some of the support vehicles, we've got a half-track full of soldiers. We've got a supply truck. Now, these are very, very important. These are the vehicles that hold the fuel and the ammo that will keep your armor moving. If you run out of fuel, your vehicles will simply stop and they can't go anywhere. If they run out of ammo, they can't fight anymore. You want to keep these supply trucks safe. You don't want them to get damaged. If you lose them, you're probably going to lose the level. In some of the levels, there are fueling stations and fuel depots and ammo dumps where you can actually resupply your supply trucks as well. And on the harder difficulty levels, you've got to be a lot more careful about that, but that's a supply truck. We also have this guy over here. He's a repaired vehicle, and these are the ones that can go around and fix critical damage to any of the vehicles. Say, like if a tank loses a track, again, you want to keep these safe, and these guys can also build pontoons. Now, as it is, I prefer to split my armour up a little bit so that I can do pincer movements around them, and I'm going to show you how to do that next. So first off, let's just ask them to reorganise themselves a bit so they're a bit closer together. Ooh. So let's select our armour and say, okay chaps, I want you to be like that. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create two kind of little battle groups. So I'm going to split them into two. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to select this guy here. And I'll get him to move there. I'm going to select this guy here. And I'll get him to move there. Now tanks are great, but they have very limited visibility. As you can see, the only bit of the battlefield we can see is this lighter part here, which isn't very good. Now what we can do is we could select all of them, and if we press the right trigger we can issue orders. So we could say, if we press to the right, we get them to open their hatches. See how they can see a little bit further now? The disadvantage of that is that the tank commanders are now very susceptible to being killed, and then you would lose that ability. So I'm going to say, close the hatch. Now this wheel that you've just seen popped up is how we give orders to individual tanks or the whole of the battle group. And what we can do, let's see what this battle group can do. So it can fire at a ground, they can open their hatches, they can all unload. You don't want that because it means they'll all get out of the vehicles, and they get them to repair themselves. So let's just practice firing at something now. So if we choose attack ground, you see we've got this target. See, they're all going to fire at the particular area. If it's green, it means that they don't need to move to hit that area. As it goes yellow, it means that some of the units are going to have to move, or all of the units are going to have to move, and they will do that. And this is kind of, I guess it's a little bit like indirect fire. It's like artillery fire, and it's a great way of concentrating fire in a particular area. Now I don't want to do that, so we're going to deselect. All of the units will engage the enemy automatically anyway. You don't have to worry about telling them all to fire at somebody. If they come across an enemy and they get fired at, they will fire back. Now, as I've said, the armour by itself is great, very powerful, but can't see very far. So what I like to do, I'm going to select this armoured personnel carrier that's full of soldiers, and we're going to tell them to get out. So you guys get out, and I'm going to get them to come over here. So I'm going to press the circle button. I want them to all come over here. And then these guys here. we're going to select this armoured personnel carrier.
Erwarte Befehle.
And get these guys to come
Bewegung,
over here.
Soldaten.
And you can see as the soldiers kind of come along, see how they can see further? And then I'm just going to select this half track. Just get him to come back a little bit. So I've got my tanks, I've got my blokes. Now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to split up this battle group. And you do that by using the select button, which is X, and then the left analog stick. And I'm going to choose, say, all of those guys there. And then I press down on my right stick, so I click it down. And you'll see we now have a new group. See, 3 has appeared, so it means these guys are all together. So when I issue them an order, they will all do stuff together. Now what I need to do now is I need to select these other ones. So first I'm just going to get this tank, get him to come over here. Because although these guys are all under number 1, see the soldiers aren't, and I want them to be included in this battle group. I want them to work together. So they've done that, so now I press X, select all them, click down my right stick, and they're now 4. So I've got that battle group of tanks, and that battle group of tanks. So I can make them to go different places. So I can say, right, you guys go here, so you guys go here, like that. And then I can select this battle group, and you guys go there. So you could see how you would do a pincer movement. I would always recommend you keep your armour working together though, because then you can take out threats very, very quickly. But if you've got 2 battle groups, it means that you can hold position, get one facing one way, one facing the other, and deal with threats as they arise. It's just more flexible. Now, we've also got some more soldiers here. Now, let's just select some personnel carrier. I want these guys to get out. I'm just going to move them up here. And this is my top tip. So I'm just going to select half of these soldiers. Those guys there. I'm going to give them, I'm going to press down, right click, see now they're number 1. And I'll get these guys to go over here. There they go. I'm also going to give them an order. So if you press the right trigger, what I can do is if I press on the D-pad to the right, it says return fire. What that means is that they will only fire at enemies if they are fired upon, which is what you want from scouts. You don't want scouts firing at people when they see them. You want them to stay quiet. Now I'm also going to press the trigger and tell them to lie down. There we go. Right, they're all lied down. Now, there is one fella who's a bit of a pain. He's this mortar chap. Mortar chaps are great, but they don't like lying down. So I'm going to get him, and we'll put him with this lot here. Right, you come over here.
Einsatzbereit, Kommandant.
Right, okay. So they're sorted there on the left flank. Now these guys, who I'm going to now select, and right click them, so they're number 5. I'm going to put these guys over here, my right flank. And again I'm going to give them an order to only return fire. There they go. Give them orders to lie down. And in fact, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's select a few of them. Right, there's another mortar guy. So let's take him. Let's put him over here. What we're going to do, we're going to take those 2 guys there. We're going to give them their own group. We're going to put them in the middle.
Infanterie in Bewegung.
Alright, you can stand up. Now I'm doing this very, very slow and deliberately for the sake of the quick start beginner's guide. But obviously, as you get quick, you can do this. Right guys, lie down. Right, now. I now need to reselect these because I added those mortar guys, didn't I, to this battle group. Ooh. So let's just select these guys.
Wir sind einsatzbereit, Kommandant.
Now they're now number 7. And now I need to select these guys.
Auf dem Weg.
Stop, stop, stop.
Bereit zum Angriff.
And they're number 3. So, these soldiers here are incredibly important. These are our scouts. You can see the cone of vision there. They have this massive cone of vision. So what I can now do is I can say, right, I want you guys to move up to here. In those bushes.
Transporter einsatzbereit.
I want you guys to move up to here.
Jawohl.
Let me just check that they're...
Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig.
These guys can move up to here.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
And they're crawling through the bush. Have we got another mortar? Oh, we got another mortar chap there, haven't we?
Einsatzbereit, Kommandant.
Okay, so this is the kind of the basic way that I proceed through levels, with scouts up ahead, and then my armour ready to go, and my support down below.
Transporter meldet sich zum Dienst.
Let's just get these supports just to form up a little bit better.
In Bewegung, Kommandant.
And now we are ready to proceed. So
Infanterie meldet sich zum Dienst.
these guys can push forward a little bit more.
Panzerbrecher.
Jawohl.
Panzerbrecher einsatzbereit.
These guys can as well.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung. Panzerbrecher einsatzbereit.
Bewegung, Soldat.
Feindliche Einheiten gesichtet.
What are you doing? Lie down. Oh, see, you got spotted there. Right.
Infanterie in Bewegung.
See, I knew the mortar guy would be trouble. Right. Anyway, right. So as we can see, there's an anti-tank gun, a nasty anti-tank gun there, which we're going to have to deal with. We've got some troops that have appeared. Well, they haven't appeared. They've been here all the time. In that trench group there. Can't see anything in that trench group there yet. So
Panzerbrecher meldet sich zum Dienst.
let's move these guys forward a little bit.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
There's an,
Feindliche Einheiten gesichtet.
Right.
Ja, Kommandant. In Bewegung, Kommandant.
you go away, little mortar guy, because you're causing trouble. Right. Now, so we've got troops here, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a gun fired at us from over here somewhere, didn't it, as well? So what we could do is we could see this guy. Right,
Jawohl.
mortar guy, you go down there.
Infanterie in Bewegung.
Right, they're all hidden, aren't they?
Zu Befehl. Befehle, Kommandant.
Ja.
It's good.
Einsatzbereit, Kommandant. Befehle, Kommandant. Ja, Kommandant. Infanterie meldet sich zum Dienst. Infanterie in Bewegung.
Right, he's another mortar guy, again causing trouble, so you come over here.
Bewegung, Soldaten.
Right,
Panzerbrecher einsatzbereit.
now we need to select these guys again. So they're one group.
Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig.
Is it mortar guy turned up yet? Has he? Right, now we need to select these guys, because
Bewegung, Soldaten.
so they're one group.
Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig.
Right. Let's
Transporter meldet sich
move
zum Dienst.
this guy over here.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
Transporter meldet sich zum Dienst.
Auf Panzerjagd.
Move this guy up forward a bit.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
So we kind of see what we're up against virtually, but I still want to
Ja,
Jawohl, bereit zum Angriff.
move this guy to there.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
So we've got another anti-tank gun there. One anti-tank gun there. More infantry there. So now we've got a really good idea what's going on around us, and then we can now start moving forward. So
Einsatzbereit, Kommandant.
what we'll do, let's move this tank group forward.
Bewegung.
Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig.
Let's move this tank group forward.
Bewegung, Soldaten.
So our main threat is from these anti-tank guns, especially that anti-tank gun there. So what we're going to do, we're going to decimate that anti-tank gun first. So I've selected my armour group there. I press right trigger, we're going to attack this ground here. We're going to press X.
Feuer!
Select my other anti-tank group. Press X. As you can see, they're all moving forwards to absolutely engage. Now they've asked for reinforcements. Another anti-tank group thing there, so we need to engage them.
Sind einsatzbereit, Kommandant.
So we're going to pummel this guy.
Feuer!
And then this group over here can engage this one's here.
Feuer!
Right, they've gone.
Zu Befehl.
So let's get these guys to attack this ground here. He's gone.
Wir sind einsatzbereit,
These
Kommandant.
guys can attack here.
Angriff!
Or is that gun still? Right, he's out of action.
Erwarte Befehle.
Just get these to form up into a bit better shape.
Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig. Verstanden.
Good job. Now lead the motorized units deep into the rear
Right,
area
tank coming in.
and destroy all Soviet military assets.
So we need to move forward a little bit.
Slow-moving units mop up the remnants of their defense line. You received additional air support.
Right, there was a tank there, wasn't there? Now, right, they're all pretty cool. So we received additional unit. So let's see. Have we already come in yet? Right, so what we can do now, right, let's
Feuer!
concentrate fire on this guy. Right, he's gone. Check these guys are okay. Now, you see this guy, he's had critical damage. Now what I can do is I can select him, and I can say, right, repair yourself. Which he should do, right, so he's good to go. Right. Now this guy, let's say if I didn't have that perk selected, what I could then do is I could then select my support units and say, with the circle button, repair this tank. And then if we go down here, you'll see my repair guy is on his way, and he's going to repair that tank. Let's just give these guys an order to stop, and we'll just hold position for a while. Now the next thing that you would probably do is you may want to, I don't really need to now, but you may want to start resupplying your tanks
Einsatzbereit,
and
Kommandant.
vehicles. So if I select my number 2, which is my supply units, I can then hold over a particular vehicle and I can press circle and that supply truck is now going to come up here and start putting more ammo into these vehicles. Always keep an eye on the tanks just to make sure that they've got enough fuel and they've got enough ammo. By the time the little warning that comes up that tells you that, oh, by the way, you're going to need some fuel in a minute, you're going to need some ammo, you might be in the thick of a battle, and it's not particularly good. Right, so he's repaired him, so that's cool. So I want to select him, and I'm going to send him back here because I want them to be safe in the rear. He's finished resupplying him, so I'm going to select him. I'm going to send them to the rear so they don't get attacked. In this particular battle as well, what happens is we get attacked by aircraft, which will turn up in a minute. I think I get some reinforcements where I get some anti-aircraft guns, which is good. So if we look at our next mission is to attack the rear area. So we need to break through kind of here, well, around here, or through here, and attack all these places up here. Now, I know this area can be pretty thick with enemies, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to form up my battle group and bring them together so they're fighting together as a group. So let's bring them over here.
Reinforcements arrived.
Right, here we go, we've got reinforcements. Now, generally... Where are they? If bad things are happening... Right, here we go. We're being attacked. Right, here come my reinforcements. Now, when you're given particular units, the reason why you're given them is often because you need them. So, let's grab these guys. So, you notice there's an anti-aircraft gun. That means I'm going to get attacked. So, let's bring up... Right, here we go. So, we've got some tanks coming in. This guy needs to repair himself. And what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to call in... Ooh. If I press X to select nothing. Oh, I was going to say I'm going to call in a airstrike, but I don't need to because we dealt with them. Right, select him. Right, you repair yourself. Now here's my anti-aircraft gun. These are really important, especially on this level, because you get enemies turning up. So if we look at this tank, you see he's down to 33 health, which means he isn't going to last that much longer. But I've managed to, he's in pretty bad shape as well, 17. But, you know, I've still got lots of tanks left, and I've still got lots of men left. And in essence, this game is if you can keep your units alive by scouting areas out and using long-range artillery and long-range indirect gunfire to attack enemies before they can get attacked on top of you, that really helps, especially when it comes to anti-tank guns and the big, heavy tanks that you come across, the big Russian tanks. And also flanking round to get them. But quite a lot of the times, if you can select your soldiers, like these guys, and say we get these guys to advance over here, but you can stand up and run over there. Then tell them to lie down. Tell them to face that way. In essence, if you proceed through areas like this by using scouts to go ahead before your armour engages them, you will really have a good time. Keep an eye on what's the fuel levels and the ammo levels of your particular tanks, and make sure they get resupplied. And as I say, split your groups up into different army groups so that you can different sort of attack groups so that you can engage enemies in different ways. So let's start moving these guys up. Start moving these guys up. And then we've got... Now I need to give these guys a group of their own. In fact, what we're going to unload these soldiers first. Then we're going to select all these guys. And then we're going to make these just move up. You see how they're already sorting them? Right, here we go. Right, that's a rocket battery there. You need to take them out fast because they'll destroy you. Now, we've got reinforcements coming in already. What have we got coming in? Another anti-aircraft group, so... Let's move these up to here. And we've got a really nice little battle group coming together now, haven't we?
Auf Panzerjagd.
Let's move our scouts forward.
Verstanden.
Transporter meldet sich zum Dienst.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
Feindliche Einheiten.
Ich bin getroffen.
Oh, we just lost the tank. Right, enemy tanks coming in there.
Panzerjagd.
Turn around.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
Engage. Right, my anti-aircraft just shot down that Russian fighter bomber, so that's good. Now, what we're going to do now, let's just select everything, and we're going to call in a heavy bomber on these guys, so you can see that happening. Right, here it comes.
Auf Panzerjagd.
Let's just reinforce these guys.
Na los! Bewegung!
Na los.
Now, a few of my guys have been injured, so let's select this medic
Täter einsatzbereit.
and get them to come over here.
Bewegung.
You'll see him running up.
Befehle.
Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig.
Let's get these guys to go over here.
Feindliche Einheiten gesichtet.
Oh, there goes the heavy bomber. Another enemy tank coming in. Deal with him, no problem. Now, see, these guys are starting to run low on ammo.
Transporter
So
einsatzbereit.
I can select my group, supply group, number 2. So, yep.
Beeilung!
Now, what I'm going to do, because I've got 2 battle groups, we're going to take these guys here, with this
Fahrzeug
anti-aircraft gun.
funktionstüchtig.
Or did we lose one anti-aircraft gun? We did, didn't we? And we're going to put him there.
Beeilung!
That's a shame. And then
Auf dem Weg!
Der Feind. Reinforcements arrive.
I want you to resupply that guy as well. So it's got a bit messy now, so let's just clean this up a little bit.
Infanterie meldet sich zum Dienst.
Right, you can all join this group here.
Jawohl.
What else have we had turn up? Repair vehicle, armoured car, another tank. Great. So let's select these guys.
Bewegung, Soldaten! Bereit zum Angriff.
They could join this little battle group here.
Auf dem Weg!
They're on their way. Right, here they come. So I'm a bit annoyed that we'd lost one of our anti-aircraft things. But what we're going to do now is we're going to select all of these guys. Effect. And we're going to make...
Wir sind einsatzbereit, Kommandant.
So they're now a separate battle group. And when these guys come in... In fact, I want to get rid of that supply guy. You go back down there.
In Bewegung, Kommandant!
This is going to be a separate battle group.
Wir sind einsatzbereit, Kommandant.
Click it in. Right, and now we will continue with the level, moving our scouts around, moving our armour group around. In fact, let's just
Transporter einsatzbereit.
get them into position to attack.
Panzerbrecher in Bewegung.
Erwarte Befehle.
These guys can attack this way,
In Bewegung.
and the level will carry on. So hopefully I've given you a really good idea about how to play Sudden Strike. Selecting units, organising them into kind kind of little battle groups so that you can deal with them independently, repairing them, using infantry as scouts to go ahead, calling in aircraft. Right, let's call in an aircraft now to reconnoitre up here. And the importance of the cones of vision. It's all about, can you see the enemy? If you can see the enemy, you can engage them from long range before they can engage you. So there we go, Southern Strike 4, a fantastically fun real-time strategy game. I love it. It's World War II. It's on the PlayStation 4. And once you get used to the controls, it really is lots of fun indeed. Right, so let's see what's up here. Looks all clear. And we're ready to strike deep into the... Oh, hello. We've got people being attacked from rear. Right, I've got to go because I've got a battle to fight. Thank you very much for watching. Put your questions, comments down below. Hit like if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of the same. And I'll see you again soon.